Mike, good to see you.
Great to see you again, man.
Yeah, awesome.
So we're here in Atlanta, two Canadians.
Yeah.
Right, we get to hang out in Atlanta. You guys have got a great booth here. So Axiom, tell us a little bit about Axiom.
Well, Axiom is a Canadian-based manufacturer that manufactures many different products for the hydronic market. We've been in business almost 30 years now, 29 years.
Wow.
We started with our commercial glycol feed system, the SF100 over there, and over the years have continued to try to develop products that are easy to use, simple, and most of all made in Canada.
Awesome. Well, you know that I'm a big fan of your products. Outside of this new series that we're doing, I use your products. We design with your products. They're good quality products, and being Canadian made probably doesn't matter in the United States, but you know, it means a lot. We can count on that quality manufacturing.
Yeah, you know, and we depend on our manufacturers, our component manufacturing so much. It's nice to have them close to home, and we have many within the U.S. as well.
Of course. So can you walk us around the booth and show us some of your products?
Yeah, why don't I start with the DMF 150.
Awesome.
It's kind of the second generation of our miniature glycol feeder. It's installed in residential applications, small closed loop systems like snowmelt systems, and over the years they've become used on systems that are water only as well.
Yes.
There's lots of great features that enable it to be installed on a water only system that gives you some flood protection. If there is a leak, you know how bad it is. It makes things easier to service. You can precisely control the fluid that you're putting into your system, as well as monitor the pressure and easily pressurize the system for various things you want to do.
So what I see a lot of people doing is putting autofills on systems, and as you know, I'm a hydronics nerd. I do a lot of hydronic training for contractors. I'm not a fan of autofills, and the reason I'm not a fan of autofills is the first one you touched on. If you go away to Florida and your autofill fails or you get a leak somewhere, you can have water everywhere. The other thing I really don't like about it is this is a really nice way to contain and control the water that goes in the system.
Precisely.
A DMF 150 is not that much more money than a good quality autofill. This gives you the assurance you fill this with good water quality, under 150 parts per million. You've got a really reliable system that you don't have to worry about any mess.
Exactly, and when you come back to do maintenance or you're checking the pressure, everything's simple right in front of you. Your pressure settings there, the pressure that the system is at is displayed. You can easily depressurize the system, and if you've ever worked with glycol as well, it can be messy. So you just disable the system, open the valve, it depressurizes the system. You can do your maintenance, collect any of that glycol, and reintroduce it into the system quite easily.
Yeah, I think the big message to take away from our little chat here right now is it's not a glycol feeder. We've always called them glycol feeders. They're not. It's a digital feeder. You can put good quality water in it. You can put your inhibitors, glycol, whatever the case may be, but it's a fill. Let's use it as that.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What else can you show us?
Well, we're also known more and more now for our condensate neutralizers.
Yes, and you've got some new ones that are really cool.
We got started designing the first commercial condensate neutralizer for North America. So we got started about 15 years ago in that, and it's since expanded to multiple different types. We have tube styles for low profile applications. We have a pump model here, so if you don't have a drain nearby, you can conveniently pump it to another location. And then our most recent version here is a cutaway of our wall hung.
So I just want to point out, I am a huge fan of this product. You cannot get confused on how you mount this to the wall, but please keep going.
So this is our NC1W. Stands for wall, W's for wall hung. It's got a top inlet and a side outlet. So the condensate comes in, goes down through the baffle and out through the side. You can reverse the location of the bracket so the outlet can be on the left or right side. And over the course of a few months or years of operation, there's precipitates that form on the media that can inhibit the flow. So eventually, if it's not maintained, you'll actually start to restrict the flow. And in this instance, it can go over a bypass and go out without backing up into the appliance or onto the floor potentially. And in doing so, you need to maintain it and clean it out and change the media. We have a patented bypass flow indicator that pops up and stays in that position so that the end user or contractor, when they come back, they know at some point in time it's went into bypass mode and it's time to service it. And service it can mean cleaning it out, but it should mean actually changing the media as well.
Yeah, I think that this feature right here, where you actually have this pop-up, I like that it's red. It's very distinct, sort of like that red warning of something is wrong. As a contractor who's supposed to see it yearly and hasn't seen it in 5 years, when the building owner says, no, everything's good, you have a visual cue that, no, everything is not good, I need to do some basic maintenance here.
Exactly, it looks differently. And we've got a clear display on our label as well to show normal operation and when service is required.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No, I'm a big fan of, obviously like all of the products, but when you launched this one, big fan of it. Really easy, get it in the mechanical room, no confusion.
Yeah.
Now, you guys have another new product that everybody's been clamoring about, people have been asking me on social media about it. It's your PEX Juniors. Everybody liked the other ones, and now you've got a new one.
The PEX is actually the first product I designed when I came to Axiom about 17 years ago. Contractors, once they've used them, come back asking for them, designed specifically sort of for a slab-on grade application.
So if I can just talk about this in a little bit of detail for a second. So what I like about this is you have two different end plates, and so if I had 4 circuits going into a manifold, I would use 4 of them.
Exactly.
If I've got 8, 12, or 16, it's not a matter if I don't have the right stuff. I just add more middle sections and put the ends on it. Some of the comments I've heard, and I know you've heard it, and we're going to segue into something, is people love this product, but in tighter spaces, smaller tubing, they were looking for something like this. It's a little bit different, which leads to the new product where you're listening to your customers and doing what they're asking.
So this is what we're calling the PEX Junior. It's designed for half-inch PEX and smaller. Works really well in overpour applications because the width of it is under 3.5 inches. It's 3 3/8 inches, so it can fit into a 2x4 wall cavity. It's actually reversible as well, so that if you've got loops coming from either direction, let's say it's one loop's coming from a bathroom, going into a bedroom, another loop, and they're all coming up into the same wall cavity.
So the interchangeability of that is really nice. One of the big challenges you have when you're laying pipe, as somebody who did a lot of radiant floor installations, is making that tubing in the mechanical room look nice.
Yes.
And we've certainly seen in the last 6 to 7 years, more and more contractors care. They want their mechanical systems to be featured on social media, and it's a really nice little detail that shows you're paying attention to your customer.
Keeps things nice and straight, and even you're not going to mix up your loops, as well as it's quicker. It's a lot faster install, and it finishes things off quite nicely. So we're quite excited about it. We've launched this just a couple of short months ago, but as you mentioned before, it was feedback from our customers on everything they liked about the PEX that we've incorporated into a more compact product for a little bit different application.
Well, I would just like to point out, as somebody who buys and sells your products and has to deal with you, not frequently, which is good news, right?
Yeah, that's true.
If I have to talk to a manufacturer too much, that can be a bad sign. We talk because we're friends. You guys really do have a great culture, great products, and you're doing great work.
Well, thanks
so we
so much.
appreciate you making time for us.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, man.